All right guys, so when you start your paint correction prep process, the first thing you want to focus on are your wheels, your tires, and your wheel wells. This is going to be the dirtiest part, the nastiest part, and depending on the vehicle, it's going to take the most amount of time. You can see this entire vehicle is pretty dirty, so we're going to attack the bottom first, not only to get the hard part out of the way, but you don't want to be splashing this mud and dirt all over the place while you're working on the rest of the vehicle. So we started off with Griot's Garage's new citrus all-purpose cleaner, and we covered all of the tire with it, just testing out to see how good this stuff works, and I'm actually pretty impressed. With a tire like this, we did 4 applications, I believe, of the product. So that's applying the product, letting it sit, and then scrubbing, and then applying the product, letting it sit. So you want to make sure you get all of that brake dust off of that tire, the wheels, and then you're going to work your wheel well, or whatever order you see fit when you're doing this area, but you want to make sure you finish each corner, get it out of the way, make sure it's completely clean. So this was after the first round, and I knew that we would get the majority of the brown off of that tire, but because this was a new product that I was testing out, I wasn't so sure. So I go ahead and spray the wheel wells every time whenever I'm working on a vehicle. And when I'm working on a tire, all of that dust and dirt is going to splash into the wheel well. I just go ahead and spray everything, like just over and over, to make sure we're getting any loose dirt out, we're not dragging anything around, so that the project can stay as clean as possible. So it's the second application of the product, and you can see that that foam is turning very white, but I like to just continuously clean while I'm going. So if I see a little bit of brown, you're not going to be able to see it here, but if I see a little bit of browning in the soap, I'll continue again and hit it one more time. And once you know that that tire is completely clean, if you see a little bit of brown stain left, you can use Stoner's tar and sap remover to pull off anything else that might be around. Next up, we went ahead and did the barrels of the wheels. So this is just a wheel brush from AutoZone, and then we did the lug nuts next. And that is a work stuff brush, the best brush on the planet if you ask me. This is the one that is good for wet work because it has a rubber grip on it, so it's not going to slip out of your hand. And we just use those around the lug nuts to make sure everything is very clean. You don't want to see any brown or any dirt around lug nuts. There are a lot of different tools out there you can use for lugs, but this is just the method that I like to use while I'm working. And I said we did 4 applications on the tires, but on that tire, once I got going, that was my 3rd tire. I was able to pull off all of that dirt and debris with just 2 applications. Those first 2 tires took me 4 because we were testing that new product. And the tire is wet, but you can see some dry spots. We'll come back around at the end to show it dry. But the wheel wells, we're checking the wheels. I had to come back in, catch it one more time, but we're gonna continue on. And now we are getting the bugs off of the vehicle. We are doing the bug and tar removal with Griot's Garage product. So first we're going to work on the front end. I always start on the front end. I don't do the entire vehicle. Focus on the front. We rinse down the front, and then we soak the front end with our prep. So we can go ahead and remove any loose dirt or any bugs that might come off without spraying any bug and tar. So we're doing the windshield, the top of the roof, the rearview mirrors, and the full front clip. And after we do our Griot's product, we're going to go ahead and rinse it. Next up, you're going to use Griot's Bug and Tar. I love this stuff. Spray everything. The only issue with this is if the headlights come on while you're spraying this product, it can bake the product into the headlight. It'll polish out, but you don't want to have to worry about that. So remove the key. You know, some of these vehicles, the lights automatically kick on. If you're close by with the key, put the key away and you have no issue. Once you spray that down, you're going to go ahead and mist. I don't have the power on the pressure washer. You're just going to mist it to keep it wet so that it's not drying up, and you're allowing it to dwell for a little bit longer. Then you're going to come in with the pressure washer and remove any loose bugs that are just hanging around. So you're going to be spraying a lot before you do any scrubbing. This is going to eliminate any opportunity to scratch something up, tear anything up. You don't want to create more work for yourself once you get in the garage. And then once we begin to spray, you can use, if you have on a glove, you can use the rubber glove and just kind of scrape at any little bugs and they will come right off. You won't cause any scratching, and this will also speed up your process. You can use your glove, and we also use foam bug scrubbers as well. We use these foam bug scrubbers to do a lot more than just to get the bugs. We'll scrub the entire vehicle with it. Then after you get done with the front, you're gonna go ahead and work on the windshield and the rearview mirrors along with the roof. And if you end up missing any of this product, it's not a big deal because you have water behind it and you flush the majority of it out. This is not a product that will stain horribly if you do end up leaving it on to dry by itself. So with water behind it and after flushing it out very well, you don't have any issues. You're gonna be foaming the vehicle next anyway. And then once we finish with the front end, we're gonna rinse the rest of the vehicle, remove any loose dirt prior to foaming it. This was the perfect day because it was nothing but sun and it was about 95 degrees at this point in time. So this is also showing you that if you are mobile, it can be done. We're also rinsing the door jambs out as well during the rinse process of the entire body. All right, so next up you're going to be using surface prep or whatever your prep product is on the entirety of the vehicle that hasn't been soaked yet. So you're going to let that dwell for a little bit. Give it enough time to pull any dirt off of the vehicle, any loose dirt, and then you're going to go ahead and rinse it off. Then you're going to use your bug and tar from Griot's on the entire vehicle to make sure we can loosen up everything. This product is great because it even works to be a stripper, if necessary, you can strip ceramic coatings, you can strip sealants, whatever the case may be. This product can be applied to any surface, mat, trim, carbon fiber, you name it. You won't have to worry about any stains. Again, the biggest problem and the biggest thing that you might have to look out for is your headlight being on. So I learned this the hard way on my personal vehicle. I had no time to wash it at the shop one day. I took my bug and tar with me to a car wash, just wanted to get the bugs off the front, and I left the car running and the headlights baked it in, so remember that. Once you spray your bug and tar, you can lay a layer of surface prep on top of it so that it'll be able to dwell a little bit longer, especially when that heat is out, because by the time you get around a vehicle this size, it will start to dry up. And after a few minutes of dwell time, you're going to work from the middle down and hit all of those high impact areas for tar on the sides of the vehicle. These are the areas that give people the most trouble when it's time to start the paint correction step, because we really don't want to put that much emphasis on washing the vehicle. We're ready to pick up that machine and get to work, but this is the most important part, guys. Just making sure that you have a clean slate. And after that, we're going to rinse it and jump into our chemical decontamination. So I love using Geon iron, really dope product. It works like a charm. I feel like I get a better result out of it than many other iron removers. And you'll know if you have any iron deposits, especially on a black vehicle, once you start to see that purple hue in your soap. And you can also foam over that as well to go ahead and create a barrier in between the iron remover and the sun. And after we rinse that, we jump into foaming it and getting ready for our hand wash. This is going to pull off any of the dirt that the pre-soak did not pull off. So always want to do your contact wash and make sure that you get that thing completely clean. Anytime you have badges, you want to use your brushes. Once again, I'm using the work stuff brushes. Get that dirt out of those badges. If the vehicle was that dirty, then you're going to see dirt around the badges if you don't clean them. Once you get in the shop, it's not going to look good in your final product. After that, you're going to rinse it off, and then we're going to be prepared for the next step. And the final step is going to be foaming panel by panel and doing your clay bar process. So many people use lubricants, speed shines, or just quick detailers to do their clay barring, but the efficient way is to use soap. As long as you have some lubricity there, you can use your soap as your lubricant and you can blaze through your clay bar process. So I'm using a Griot's Garage clay bar puck, synthetic puck. And this thing has been through, I don't know how many cars, but they advertise, I believe, 24. I've been through way more than that, and I have removed some really heavy contamination with them. So we're getting everything, roof in between each one of the marker lights, every part of that vehicle that's painted, and the glass if necessary. You want it to be completely smooth. All the way down to the rear bumper, guys. And now we've got completely flat, clean paint. That water is just sitting on the paint, and that's what you want before you get into that shop and start your polishing process. After that, you dry it off. If you need to use your leaf blower, go right ahead. But if it's something that's already been damaged pretty good, you can just do a quick dry off, guys. And this is your final finish. All right, guys, so there you have it. There is the full step-by-step process on how we prep a vehicle for paint correction, or if you just want to prep a vehicle, period, for a light polish. If you want to just decontaminate a vehicle, you can skip the clay bar process because the clay bar may leave marring in the paint, which will then require you to polish it. But if you just want to go from step 1 all the way through 6, you can do that and skip step number 7, which will be your clay bar process, so that you don't induce any marring in the paint. And you can decontaminate vehicles like that all day long. So once again, you're going to start off by doing your wheels, your tires, and your wheel wells. Then you're going to jump to the front of the vehicle and get the bugs off of the front. So in regards to this vehicle, we're going to start at the edge of the vehicle down and get all of the bugs. So we're going to get the bumper, the grill, edge of the hood first. We're going to rinse it, pre-soak it, and then we're going to use our Griot's bug and tar. After that, we're going to go to our windshield and do everything else that's coming at the elements. The wind is coming at, bugs are coming at. So windshield, the roof line, and the rearview mirrors and A-pillars. After that, you're going to rinse the entire vehicle. You're going to then soak it with your paint prep. We're using Griot's surface prep. And then you're going to use your Griot's bug and tar remover on the entire vehicle. And then you're going to use your foam scrubber, work your way from the middle of the vehicle down. Make sure you get all that tar off, anything sticking, gum, whatever the case is. You don't need anything slowing you up on your process once you start running that machine. After that, you're going to do your iron decontamination, and then you're going to do your contact wash. Get any of that dirt that just wouldn't come off during those previous steps. You're going to get all of that by hand, and then after the fact, you're going to go ahead and clay bar it. Get all of the grittiness off of the paint, anything that wouldn't come off while hand washing it. You're going to pull it with your clay, and then after that, you dry it off. Make sure everything's completely dry, blow everything out, get all of the water out of every crack and crevice. The worst thing in the world that bothers me to this day is when water is running while I'm sitting there polishing and it's getting in the polish, and it might not cause the best finish depending on what I'm using. So guys, that is how you prep a vehicle for paint correction. And once again, you can skip the clay bar step if you're not going to be picking up a machine, and you can just decontaminate like that all day long and put a sealant on, use something like Geon Wet Coat, and make the vehicles pop. If you need to see this thing printed out, you can head over to our free resources tab over at the Academy at thepropolishersacademy.com. The link is in the description, and you can print this out, put it on your wall, take it with you so you can have all the steps laid out, and you can know exactly what to do while you are prepping vehicles or just simply washing vehicles and you want that top-notch wash. If you want to up your price on what it is you're doing for your washes, simply follow these steps, explain it to your customers, and you could bump your price up $100, $200 just because of the information that you have. That's it for today, guys. We'll see you next time. The paint is waiting on you. Peace.